am a few minutes early, but I wanted to make sure that I could get to the screen to go the right way before we got started. So that's what what I just did. So like I said, I'm a few minutes early. We won't be ready to actually start for a few moments. So I'm going to wait till more people come on because, like I say, it's not 10 o'clock yet. So we'll wait for a few moments. I'm going to go get me some water while we're waiting. Yeah, definitely always something, PK. How did Keo's vet appointment go? Yeah, I got to pay bills too. I was actually, before, when this alerted me that it was time to come in here, I was balancing my checkbook, and then I was going to pay some bills. So I have to do that after we're done here. Well, improving is good. It'd be nice if it was all gone, wouldn't it? Sorry. Having a little snack. Okay, it is 10 o'clock now. Well, you'd mentioned it on Randy's show this morning, so I had wondered how he was doing. Hey, Rosemary. Well, we'll give it a few more seconds, then we're going to turn down. And I did not get my new bargain feed box yesterday, even though I was supposed to. Sorry, going to turn my notifications off. According to my tracking, it said it would be here yesterday, but then when I checked it this morning, because it didn't come yesterday, it said it was in Billings. So I'm like, you're a little late because you were supposed to be here. But the way the mail is so messed up nowadays. Our hub for our mail used to be Kalispell. Then they switched it to Missoula. So everything I mail from here in Columbia Falls, even though it's going to Kalispell, which is only like 12 miles away, it goes down to Missoula and then comes back up. So things that used to take one day to get delivered take about a week anymore. Well, now they're talking about moving the hub from Missoula over to Spokane in Washington. And we're like, oh, please, it already takes long enough for our mail to get here. Now you want to send it to Spokane and then back to us? It's ridiculous. But there is a hub in Billings, so I'm hoping that because it's in Billings, that it will come. Yes, they did close the Kalispell hub. The regular post office is still there, but the Kalispell hub is gone. And it switched it down to Missoula. And now they're talking about taking it out of Missoula even though, of course, the regular post offices are there. They're talking about moving it to Spokane. And it's ridiculous. Yeah, PK, I think sometimes that would be more efficient to go get it. My daughter ordered something from Stevensville. As you know, Stevensville is just south of Missoula, maybe 30 miles, 40 tops. It went to Colorado. And I'm like, seriously? Seriously? If it had gone to Missoula, it should have just gone to Missoula and straight up to us, but no. So I don't understand the post office anymore. It's just ridiculous. It really is. And they ask why we don't use the post office too much anymore. Why? Because you keep screwing things up. Of course, I've had things that I ordered from Softflex, which is in Sonoma, California, that has gone to Nashville before it came back over here. It's like, I think you guys just stick it on a truck. You don't care where it's going. You just stick it on a truck. So anyway, my BBB didn't come, but what did come was my Blooming Branches Companion Bundle 2. I got my Companion Bundle 1. We looked at that last week. Now we have Companion Bundle number 2. So let's turn down and we'll, yeah, I wonder sometimes, PK. Oh, it's crazy. Anyway, so let's turn down and we'll take a look at this bundle and see what's going on. So everybody ready to flip? There we go. No, the Postal Service is just not running worth beans lately. And I think that's part of the reason why so many people do everything like pay bills and such online. Why mail them? They are never going to get there on time. This is very true. For those of you that don't know, I live in the northeast corner, or excuse me, the northwest corner of Montana, and PK lives about central, I'd say. Of course, Montana is a really huge state, so I think the only one that's bigger than Montana, I'd say, is probably Texas. And I'm not even sure about that. Alaska might be as well, but we're one of those top ones. So anyway, what I got here, since I didn't get my regular BBB, weirdly enough, I got my Blooming Branches Companion Bundle number 2, which I ordered. And let's see what all we got in here. So this one didn't come with a paper of its own, but when you get your invoice, they have it highlighted which ones are from the kit. And so we'll just see if we can find the things that are in the kit. Looks like, oh, here we go. First thing, 16-inch strand of 4x3 crystal faceted rondelle beads in matte peridot. So there's that. Did anybody else manage to get any of the companion bundles? I know they don't make very many. I think like 50 or something like that whenever I check the amounts. And then item number 2 is strand of 8x6 faceted rondelle crystal beads in matte roseland. Ah, there we go. Oh, these feel rough. They must be faceted. Did it say faceted? Yes, it did. That would be why they feel rough. Weird. But very pretty. Number 3 is a strand of 6x4 crystal faceted rondelles in lavender. That would be these guys. Yep, lavender. So those are pretty. Go down in there. 8mm check press glass flower beads in pink opal coat. And it says there's 10 of them. I guess it's these little guys. The hole is right through the center of these little guys, so it's gonna either have to be crisscrossed or it's gonna have to lay downwards. So that's those. Next is a 16 pieces of 8mm check Druk round beads in alabaster with AB and gold shimmer. I guess that's these. They look sort of like a pearl. Oop, come here you. Okay, so the last one on this page is 4 pieces of 14mm check pressed glass daisy flower. Oh, that's a pretty one. And crystal AB with pink. Well, they look pink as in the glass, but it says crystal. And I suppose if you looked sideways, it is crystal with a pink backing. Wow, that's pretty. I really like that one. I'll have to make that into something cool, probably some earrings. But, okay, so that finishes this page. So let's flip the page. Now, in case anybody's wondering, this bundle costs $40. So much more than the regular one. Okay, we have 12 pieces of 8x10 check pressed glass mint leaf beads in light teal. Oh, that would be these guys. You know, the first one of these companion bundles I got had a slip in it, just like the regular bundles. But none of them so since then has, and that's sort of disappointing because I like having the slip. 5-piece 13mm check press glass meteorite beads, crystal with silver shimmer. Meteorite beads? I guess it's these. I don't think I've ever heard of a meteorite bead before. It's a weird bicone. They're sort of heavy. Oh, that's right, Cindy. Hi, Cindy. How's it going? You're heading home today? You're in Hawaii, right? So sad to have to come home from Hawaii. I've been to Hawaii 3 times. The first time, I never ever thought I'd get to go. The first time I was in my probably early 60s. No, maybe in my mid 50s. But anyway, my husband took me for our 25th wedding anniversary. So that was to the Big Island. And then the next island we went to was Oahu. We wanted to see the Arizona Memorial. So that's why we went to Oahu. I wasn't really thrilled with Oahu until we got out of the city. Honolulu is too big for me. I don't really like a big city. And then lastly, we went to Maui. Oh, that's been probably 5 years ago. Maybe even longer than that, maybe 6. But Oh, goodness. Oh, PK, that sucks. Oh, boy. But anyway, when we stayed in Lahaina when we were in Maui, and as most people know, Lahaina burnt down. And that was so sad for us because I'm pretty sure the place we stayed burnt down. It was a nice little B&B. But that's where I got my turtle tattoo was in Lahaina. So that must have been 6 years ago because I got this when I was 60. I'm 66 now. So it was, and it rained a lot while we were there. And when it rains in Hawaii, it's torrential rain. It just comes down like nobody's business. And then it turns real pretty afterwards, but it's the way it goes. Okay, where were we? The meteorite beads. Next is 2 pieces, 1 pair of 28 by 10 millimeter brass earring hook with a flower accent. Oh, these guys. Now, I don't usually use these kind of ear hooks, so if I use them, they're going to have to get, of course, one of the little plastic things behind. It is very pretty, though. Let's bring her up so you can see it better, maybe. So that's a different ear hook. It's very pretty. Oh, it's a flower, so hey, we may have to put flowers on it. But we'll see. So there's our ear hooks. Says they're platinum. Interesting. Must be a coating because I wouldn't think that they would be really platinum. Platinum is extremely expensive. Anyway, next is 10 pieces, 9 by 10 bird charm links. Bird charms. Look at these little guys. They're pretty cute. Come on, babies, go back in your baggie without losing anybody here. So there's our bird charms. Approximate 15.5 strand of 8 millimeter electroplated agate round beads in metallic purple iris. That would be these guys. I sort of wondered if these were going to be drusied, but I don't see any. Oh, there's one right there. Oh, and there's another one. Ooh, that's a nice one. See that druzy on that? Oh my God. That was an interesting experience, huh? PK, which island were you on? So there is our electroplated agates. Come on, close bag. And back into here with you. Pink 8 millimeter pink adventurine round gemstone beads. Nope, says 8 millimeter. Pink adventurine, 8 millimeter. Huh. Oh, must be these guys. They don't look very pink, but they are pretty. I guess a few of them are more pink, like this one. This one's more orange, if you ask me, but they are pretty. Oh, so you were in Lahaina also. Lahaina was a beautiful area. I really loved it. Well, maybe someday you can go back and not have quite the adventures. Okay, where are we at? Those were the pink adventurines. So we're at a 4 millimeter rose quartz round beads. Well, those are obvious. They're right here. Of course, they got a pink string under them. They always put a pink string under the rose quartz to make it look more pink. You pull the string out and it's not as pink, but that's all right. There's the rose quartz, 4 millimeters. 4 millimeter amethyst macro faceted round beads. That's these babies here. It always amazes me with stones sometimes because, like, this one's almost white, whereas this one over here is a really, really dark purple. And they really go the gamut between the two. But I think they're really pretty. Next is 100 pieces of 4 millimeter round glass beads in a sunshine mix. Lots of yellows and studs. So that's true. It is a long flight, but it's really worth it once you get there. This kit is really big. This is, like I said, this is the Blooming Branches Companion Bundle 1. We showed you Companion Bundle 2 last week and made that little necklace. But this is number 1. Let's see what's next. We got our faceted check fire polished 8x4 polished glass. I'm not going to open this unless we decide to use it later because it is sealed, but it's those weird rondelles that are flat. So I think they're pretty. Now we'll switch to my last page here and probably get this. Oh, there's 2 more pages. Okay. 25 by 26 millimeter brass and gemstone butterfly pendant with amethyst. Come out, baby. I'll probably take it off these bells. I hate these bells. They're sort of cheapy. But that's a pretty piece. Hey, Anita. Hi, Danielle. So there's our butterfly pendant with amethyst. And the next one on this page is a 35 by 25 amethyst teardrop pendant. Ooh. Now that's got a lot of the different colors of amethyst like I was talking. See over here, it's almost clear with a light color. Through the middle, it's really dark. And then here's the lighter color over on this side. This is a really pretty pendant. I don't know if you can see those colors real well. Let's see if I can get one of my lights to come over here enough that you can get a better look at it here. It's really pretty. Anyway, it does have a hole at the top, but I'll still probably wrap it a little bit because I like a little wrapping around it just to give it a little more oomph. Okay, now the last page. And the last item is 40 pieces of 6x5 stainless steel spacer beads. These are ball spacers. Oh, these are hefty ball spacers. They are pretty heavy, but they're pretty. In case anybody's wondering about that moaning sound, it's my pipes. My daughter just put some wash in the laundry, and it likes to make that sound. So that is our kit. And now we have to decide if we're going to make anything with said kit. I do like this little butterfly pendant. There are some really pretty things in here. But let's dump it back out and we'll see if there's something if that just grabs me all of a sudden so that we can work on something. Like I say, I do want to wrap that some, so. You know, I'm not thinking I want to make earrings today, so we'll put the earring hoops back, her hooks. Could use these with some of the flower to make a pattern between. Or we could make a chunky bracelet maybe. If we're making a chunky bracelet, we don't need the pendants. And I want to wire wrap that one anyway, so we don't want to. We could put a little birdie on the end if we decide to make a chunky bracelet. There's not very many of these, so I don't know that I want to put them in a bracelet. So we'll put those aside. We'll do something else with them. And these are too tiny for chunky. So we're going to get rid of these 2, 3. So these are little too. We don't want tiny in our chunky bracelet. I'm thinking we'll use one of these big guys as a focal. Actually, maybe we'll use 2. And then we'll put one of these guys. I'm thinking the orangey one here in between the 2. Now, as most of you know, I have a thing for spacers. It has to have spacers, but I don't know that I want to use these ones right off the bat. Maybe I do. Let's dump some out and see. Let's see, where do we want to go here? Ugh. I need to have one myself. I really don't care for them though. I don't like my boobs squished, thanks. But now these are the only spacers in here, is these big ball ones, which are nice and big and stuff, but not sure they're, well, yeah, we might as well just use those, especially if we're going to just make this a big chunky bracelet. I think we'll get a couple of our drusies here out. Come on. There we go. come out of there. Do I need to cut a bigger hole? Maybe. Not sure I'm liking the big ball spacers all through here. I may have to switch it up. And change it to some other kind of spacer. Like, for instance, I don't like it beside this flat bead here. I think come on, baby, come out. I'm thinking a couple of daisy, stacked daisy spacers instead on both sides of this one. Which then, of course, means I need some somewhere else so it doesn't stand out horribly like that. Ouch. Pinched myself. Ouch. So... how long is this going to be? It's about 6 right now. So we only need a little bit more probably. Well, these are bigger beads, so we may need more than we would otherwise. Let's get some wire out and string it and see where we're sitting at. I think we'll just use some bone. This is actually, see, it's got this sticker here for the outlet. They called it blush because it didn't quite make their color grade. So, so they sell them on the outlet store when they don't quite make the factory doesn't quite get their color straight. So, and it's a good deal generally. So let's start with putting that there, getting my scissors out of the way, and we'll start stringing this baby up. These big ball beads, I think they're almost big enough to, ball spacers, I think they're almost big enough to, the hole is almost big enough to take the knot if you're doing a stretch bracelet, I think. Oop, go on. This has got a weird coating on it. Thank you. That's nasty. Sorry to hear that, Rosemary. Usually ours is pretty darn clean. Hey, Jenny, this is the Blooming Branches Companion Bundle number 1. Cost $40. I doubt if there's any left. They make very few of the companion bundles when they make them. I think only like 50. You know what would look good there if I can find it? Instead of these, buy this big weirdo bicone, meteorite, is a crystal spacer. I wonder if I could find my crystal spacers fast. Where are your crystal spacers? Well, of course, I'm not finding them. That would be too easy because it would look really pretty with a crystal spacer in there. But all kinds of spacers, but not crystals. Oh, and here's some crystals, but they're gold. We don't want gold ones. Well, Hector, would have swore I had some here. But I can swear all I want, and that doesn't mean they're going to be here, right? Oh, well. We'll stick with our ball spacers. No, I'm not going to stick with ball spacers. I'm going to try something else. Where's my other bundle? Okay, here's bundle number 2. And in it, there are some bead caps. Let's see what those would look like on there. Oops, don't fall. So let's see what the bead cap would look like on this meteorite thing. Might be too small for bead cap. We'll see. Well, I think I like it better than the ball spacer. So we will just bing. Take you guys out. Put you guys in. Oh, I only need 2 more. You can go back in your original package. Mixing my Bloomin' bundles together. And I'm going to, come on, open up. Nope, you come off. Actually, da-da-da. Now that's more than I need, but that's all right. Put you here. And what I do with the big ones? There we go. And then you. Go away. I think I'm going to pull this back, and I'm going to put one of these little ones here before this one. Sorry if I'm not paying attention, folks, to the chat. I'll be checking in a minute as soon as I get back to where I have this. There, that's better. I was feeling like the ball spacers were dominating the whole thing, and I didn't want that. I don't mind the ball spacers being in there. I just didn't want them to dominate the whole bracelet. I don't think they would have passed it either. We used to have secret shoppers when I used to work when I was much younger, right after I divorced my husband, my first husband. I worked at a Jack in the Box. Boy, you're right. We wouldn't have passed with those kind of things. Hey, Janice. Hey, Susie. Okie dokie. Back to this little bit, then we'll take a measurement, see how we're doing. See, how did I have this? This one. Okie dokie. Okay, so this is measuring a little over 6, which would be good if I'm using a lobster and a chain, which I probably will use a lobster and put a little extender chain on. Because, see how it doesn't fit me? And I have about a 7-inch wrist. It's got a lot of room to go there. Oh, and I just dumped it. Dang it. Rose, you know to put your bead stoppers on. Oh, good. I didn't dump as much as I thought. Oops, come back here, you. Now I'm going to hook this to a ring, I think, and get a bead stopper on this time. And I may put, if we need more length, I could either put another druzy on, or I could put one of these matte rose beads on here. That will pull up with this. Trying to decide what I want to do here. I'm thinking I might hook to a ring as opposed to a jump ring. I have some really pretty little ones. If, again, one of those things, can I? Yes, I can. They're right above me here. Oops, don't fall. ring. Hook to this little ring here. And if I wanted to, I could hook to a ring on both sides and then hook a lobster claw onto the one and a regular jump ring onto this one. I'm definitely going to use this because I want to dangle one of our little birdies on to the edge here. And we actually could, this bird has a hole in it. I could actually dangle something from the bird, but I don't know if I want to. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to get my cone out, and we're going to see exactly how big this really is. Oh boy. It's pretty small, actually. It's only coming up to about 5.5. And that's because of the bigger, like the meteorite beads and that kind of stuff. So we definitely need a little bit more, I think. And I'm thinking I might put some daisy spacers in and either put one of these or one of these. And I'm thinking one of these because we're going to add a little different to it. So I'm going to cut the wire because I don't need any more now, I don't think. We got plenty enough here. And I'm going to see what one of these matte beads would look like on here. But do I want one of these ball spacers again? We'll see what it looks like. The ball spacer isn't bad. We'll leave it. I think that's going to be good, especially since I'm going to put this on here. So we'll get out some silver crimps, and we're going to crimp this ring onto here. Maybe you want to purchase it, Danielle? What size does it need to be if you do? It's with the additional beads on here, it is, once I get the crimps and stuff on, it's probably going to be about somewhere between 6.5 and 7 right now. Six inches before the clasp. Well, you got to remember, this thing's going to grow. It's 7 inches according to this, but it won't go around my wrist, and my wrist is 7, so those bigger beads are holding it up open some. But you need the smaller size, so we want this back off, right? Now, I don't want to make it too small for you, but I could put an extender chain on just in case. So let's see what that was. It was this little bit over 6. So what I'm going to do is we're going to, since you want a smaller one, we will I'm going to put a little the little daisy spacer on here. Then I'm going to crimp it to a pretty ring here. And we'll see how much it needs to go. So now we'll get our crimps out. Take these guys back off. We're going to come on, baby. Now this is a closed ring, so you have to put it on now. It's not a jump ring that you can put on later. My magical crimpers out. Put that tube right in the middle and squish. Then we'll turn. Okay. Work some of the beads up there. We're gonna hang our little bird down here. And we may put this little bead just above him, though it seems a little big for him. Maybe we'll get one of those smaller beads out that we put away. I was thinking the green, but we don't want to put the green with all this yellow and stuff. So maybe one of these yellow beads. Maybe just one of the almost white ones. And since he has a hole, we could actually put another one down there, but I don't think I'm going to. I think that one is just, will work just fine. I'm sorry to hear that you're freezing up like that. So we're going to put the little birdie together here, and I'm going to have to decide if I want just a regular lobster claw on the other side or what we want to do. Now I have old head pins I never use anymore. So I cut the heads off and use them as a little piece of wire. Works great. Now I could use a regular eye pin. I do have some of those. I just don't use them very often. Put our little pretty birdie together here. There they are. My stepped bell making plier. Up and around and over. Bring it down, and unless you want to use a jump ring, you leave a gap here. Feed our little guy onto here. Hold this together. Here are my brand new pliers since I broke my other pair. Okay. That didn't tuck as well as I wanted. That's better. Okie dokie. Oh, come on, you. Swing right. There we go. So there's our little bird on. Ugh, I'm sorry to hear that. So anyway, here we go. And now we have to, now is our final decision is whether we're going to put some extender chain on here, leave this as our clasp for our lobster claw, which we could do, and then put the lobster claw on the other side. Right now I've got it pretty stiff because I've got it tightly put here. So I think we will get a lobster claw out. I like these 15 millimeter ones that I get from Thunder Horse Descendant because they are bigger. And as we get older, our hands don't like to work as much as they used to. So check it to make sure it's not broken. And now I'm going to just put a little loop on this side because I never attach my lobster claw directly to my wire. And that's because if your lobster claw breaks, with it put on by a jump ring, you don't have to worry about whether Come on, you go through there. Whether you can change it or not, because with a lobster claw, it just has a spring inside of it and it can break. And we don't want it to break and have no way of, I didn't go through the crimp tube. Silly, that won't work. Through the crimp tube. There we go. Anyway, as I was saying, if your lobster claw should break, because it's just a spring in there making it work, then if you have it attached right to your bracelet rather than a jump ring, then you have the worry of whether, if it does break, you can't just change it out. You have to restring everything. So it's much better to put a jump ring at the base of your bracelet with your lobster claw on it. So let's, what do I do with my crimping pliers? There they are. Okay, so now we'll cut this extra wire off here. There we go. Now I'll get a jump ring to put this on with. And then the question will become, do we want to add any length? Do we want to put an extender chain on? It's easy to put an extender chain on. All you got to do is take a jump ring and hook it to the other side here. Okay, so here we go. We can hook this right on here. And our little bracelet ends up being 6.5 inches. So there we go. There's our little birdie dangle over here. And it turned out to be 6.5 inches. So I don't know if that's still too big for you, Danielle. I hope it's not, if you still want it. And if I wanted to send it off into the world to somebody I don't know, I would probably put an extender chain on the end and maybe have one of those little birdies on the extender chain too. But let's see if I can figure out a price for this. Now the bundle was $40. So, but I didn't check the price of the beads, obviously, because I'd have to go into their website and check everything out. I'm not going to do that. It's not worth bothering with. But this is not even... It's not even... probably... It's not even a quarter of the beads, maybe an eighth. So maybe $20 plus postage. Okay, that's a rough estimate at 20. It might not be that much if I were to pull it apart and, do it bead by bead, but I have to figure out what the beads cost because, like I said, the bundle is $40. But we used about half of these, but didn't even come close to this. Maybe a third of these. So it's like brain has to start working here to make it think about it. But I'm thinking with the things I added from my own stuff, probably about $18 to $20 plus postage, which is about $6. So about $26, 25, 26. 25 would probably be good. So if you really want it, Danielle, private message me your address and stuff, and we'll get it hooked up for you. So anyway, we've gone over our hour. So let's turn up. Get ready, guys. So if it will fit you, like I said, it's about 6.5. So I like the little birdie. Oops, I got it upside down. There it is. Little birdie hanging down from our silver ring. So, but yeah, that is my message for today as far as clasps are concerned. Always, always, always jump ring your lobster claws. Because even though it is not a necessity, because you can just attach it right to your wire. But your jump ring or your lobster claw works on a spring, and that spring can break. And if that spring breaks, your lobster claw will no longer stay closed. And it might even fall apart, because sometimes they do. And then you have to restring the whole thing if you've strung it right to the bracelet. So jump ring. So there we go. There it is again from the front all the way around to the back. And hope you enjoyed making this with me. And I enjoyed making it with you. We'll see you guys all later. And I'm glad people liked it. I'm sorry you kept freezing up, Danielle. That sucks. So anyway, it is almost 10 after. So so we're gonna, and thou, I did put this one directly on because it is the ring, because it is a closed one. It's not going to open. So but it's a little pretty little addition rather than just a jump ring, a regular jump ring. So there we go. We're done for the day. We'll see you guys all later. I hope you had a good time with us today and enjoyed making this with me. And I think it turned out nicely. Obviously, Danielle thinks it turned out nicely. We'll see you all later. Hope to see you tomorrow. I have nothing planned right now. We'll see. Now, for those who haven't seen, I have made an elf ear. These slip over your ear. Let's see if I can slip it on here. take hold of this piece here and just go over and pull it down. And then this piece goes over the front, so like that. And somebody has asked me to make a tutorial for these. I probably will in time, but not right away because, well, this was my first one. I've never made one before, so I've got to, oh, come on, let loose. And I got to figure out how to make them so they don't grab your hair. But, so there is this one. I have to make the second one that goes on the other side. Somebody asked me to do a tutorial for these, and I probably will in time, but I'm probably going to make a few sets before I do that because, like I said, that was my very first one. It turned out better than I expected it to be truthful with you. I'm doing a fairy festival this year, and that is my first fairy year, so I will need to work on it a little bit before I decide whether it's going to be a tutorial or not. But anyway, guys, I'll see you all later. If I get that down pat, I might make it for like a Friday tutorial or something, maybe Saturday. But I'm going to go for now, and I hope you guys had a good time with me. I think I had fun with you guys. Bye-bye.